Yesterday, southern Iran witnessed a disaster of devastating proportions at the Shahid Raji port near Bandar Abbas, a critical node in Iran's commercial infrastructure and indeed one of the arteries through which a significant portion of the world's oil flows. An enormous explosion originating in the hazardous materials storage depot within the port has now claimed at least 18 lives, with over 750 people injured, many of them seriously. The casualty count unfortunately remains fluid as emergency services continue with their grim work in the middle of still smouldering wreckage. The cause, while officially under investigation, appears tragically familiar: catastrophic mishandling of volatile chemicals, specifically materials linked to missile fuel production, including ammonium perchlorate, a highly combustible oxidizer. This revelation echoes the haunting memory of the 2020 Beirut port disaster, where poor storage of ammonium nitrate destroyed swathes of the Lebanese capital and killed hundreds. Eyewitnesses in Bandar Abbas reported that a minor fire, exacerbated by temperatures exceeding 40 degrees centigrade, ignited the chemical stockpile, leading to a chain of secondary explosions, and the blast's sheer force shattered windows kilometres away and was even felt on the nearby island of Keshm. Aerial footage shows not just fire, but a dense reddish-black cloud, a telltale signature of chemical combustion. The Iranian authorities, notably the Interior Minister Eskander Momeni, have moved quickly to insist that the port's customs operations and logistics chains have not been fundamentally compromised, and cargo loading and customs clearance are resuming in unaffected areas. Nonetheless, the Shahid Raji port will remain partially closed while recovery operations continue, and the government has declared 3 days of national mourning. The Shahid Raji port is not simply an industrial hub, it's a linchpin in Iran's fragile economy and lies adjacent to the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most vital oil choke point. Any prolonged closure or reputational damage to the port's safety procedures could reverberate across global energy markets. Moreover, the political timing is noteworthy. The explosion occurred as Iran and the United States convened in Oman for sensitive nuclear negotiations. And while there is as yet no evidence of sabotage, the Iranian foreign minister openly admitted that security services are on high alert, and it wouldn't be the first time that accidents at Iranian critical infrastructure sites later revealed themselves to be the product of hostile activity, often attributed, whether fairly or unfairly, to Israeli intelligence operations. It's impossible, too, to ignore that Ambri, a respected private security firm, indicated that rocket fuel shipments arriving at the Shahid Raji just last month, precisely the kind of shipment that would make an attractive, if volatile, target for sabotage, could well be the culprit in this particular situation. Yet thus far, Tehran is treating this as a case of negligence, a not unfamiliar narrative given Iran's history of industrial mismanagement. President Masoud Pezeshkian has acted swiftly, dispatching senior officials at Bandar Abbas, promising a full investigation and ordering public condolences. However, questions abound. Why was solid rocket propellant, inherently unstable under high temperatures, stored so close to civilian operations? Why, after the lessons of Beirut, were safety protocols still so lax? And this catastrophe cuts deeper than the immediate loss of life. It symbolizes the chronic weaknesses afflicting Iran's infrastructure, a combination of underinvestment, sanctions-induced shortages, and bureaucratic stupidity that creates fertile ground for disaster. Already, commentators within Iran are pointing to ignored safety warnings about the container yard, warnings issued months ago by provincial disaster management officials. At a time when Iran seeks to project an image of strength, particularly in its missile and nuclear capabilities, the Shahid Raji explosion projects something rather different: fragility, vulnerability, and the dangers of general negligence. It reminds both Iran's citizens and the international community that missiles and centrifuges are only as powerful as the stability and competence of the state that wields them. Moreover, environmental consequences loom. Iranian authorities have warned residents about toxic air contamination. Ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide have been detected at dangerous levels. Schools and offices across the Bandar Abbas area are closed. One cannot but draw parallels with Chernobyl in the sense that, once again, A hidden catastrophe has polluted a cityscape, and it remains to be seen whether Iranian officials will be fully transparent with their people and with their neighbours about the risks. In sum, the Shahid Orangi port explosion is not merely a local tragedy, it's a profound indictment of the structural vulnerabilities within Iran's industrial and political systems. It also casts a shadow over Tehran's diplomatic posture at a time when stability is desperately needed. As the fires are finally extinguished, one hopes that the lessons about governance, about safety, about responsibility will not be buried under the rubble.